and welcome back to Crunchy Things.
On this side, my name's Megan.
I'm Tami.
And today we are going to be talking about Marvel's first female-led superhero movie,
Captain Marvel.
Yay! This movie stars Brie Larson as our title character, Captain Marvel. And let's just jump right in.
Yes, which is how they drop us into the story. We are dropped in. She has no idea who she is. She is living with the Kree and is trying to, figure out who she is while being a member of their
Task Force?
Superhero,
Part of their military, pretty much.
kind of like their SWAT team, Special Forces type thing.
And again, she has no idea who she is, and neither did we. We were literally dropped in on our heads, and I was confused for the first 3 minutes.
But it works from a storytelling point of view. It's the first film like that where we're not getting any flashbacks or anything like that in our intro. We're just thrown in
Head first.
and it works.
It
I
does.
liked it.
I did too.
One of the things that I did really like about Captain Marvel too was the relationships that are sprinkled throughout the film. Because we're learning about Vers, Carol Danvers, through her relationships with other people. The first person that she meets in the MCU is Nick Fury. Now, let's talk about Nick Fury for just a moment. The de-aging of Samuel L. Jackson was...
Not that he needed much.
No, because he's like a 75-year-old man who looks like he's in his 40s and looks fantastic. So,
Agreed.
He's a beautiful man.
Beautiful chocolate man.
Yes, we love him.
I loved his... This is kind of like a
Bit of an origin story for him.
that's what I was about to say. Origin story, that's a good word for it. Because while this isn't his movie, he plays such a huge role in it, and he steals quite a few of the scenes.
Yeah.
It all works so seamlessly. And his relationship with Carol was one filled with snark and sass, and it worked for their relationship a lot. And we can definitely see why in the end of the Avengers Infinity War, he paged her.
Yep. Spoiler if you haven't
No.
seen that. Hopefully you have, because that was a couple of years ago.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Oh yeah, spoilers abound possibly. We don't know. We're winging it today.
It is. Another one of those relationships that I really liked was Carol's relationship with her friend Maria. Now, when this story takes place in the 90s, women were not allowed to fly combat missions, which was something that was actually affecting me because I was working to try and join the military and I wanted to fly. Yeah, that didn't happen. But that was something that I had wanted to do, so I could really actually quite relate to Carol and Maria and the excitement that they had when they were given the opportunity to be test pilots.
Exactly, and their leader, Dr. Wendy, I don't remember her last name.
Something or other.
Something or other. What's her bucket? Her character, it's Annette Bening, by the way, who is a phenomenal actress in my opinion.
And she did great because she played multiple
Variations or multiple characters. She played, of course, the leader of the unit for Carol Danvers and Maria, and she also took on the role of the Supreme Intelligence of the Kree, which takes on the image of the person who's going to most affect you. And for Carol, it was this doctor who pretty much let her fly how she wanted to fly. And that, it's not really a parent relationship, but one of mutual respect.
A bit of a mentorship.
It added that depth to Carol that was sorely missing throughout most of the film.
One of the things that I also liked is that there was no romance.
Oh, none at all.
And I know that sounds like a strange thing, but in too many films, women are there to be the...
Eye candy.
Pretty much. And are not allowed to have that voice without having men be their end goal, and that wasn't what she was working towards.
Oh no, she took on the world with sass, snark, and a right hook. It was kind of amazing.
It was awesome.
I have to stop you there, though, because there was one relationship in there that was it was a little borderline romantic for me, and that was Nick Fury and the cat Goose.
True. But
everybody
that was,
loved him.
but, but it wasn't Carol's character.
No.
She was not. Even in Wonder Woman, which for, the DCU, I loved that film, but there was still that element of romance with her and Steve.
It was definitely a plot device to move the story forward. In Captain Marvel, not a drop of romance in it. I'm gonna admit my ignorance here. I went into this movie hoping for something, because every movie has had some sort of romantic undertone in the Marvel Universe. This one didn't. And it kind of, because I've been conditioned so much by the patriarchy, I was looking for the romance. And knowing that it was not there really actually bumped up my enjoyment of the film.
And I found it really refreshing. I enjoyed the fact that Carol and Maria were facing the world on their own terms. And
Maria was a single mother.
Which I could also relate to as a single parent. So I was able to relate to Maria's character way more than I was able to relate to Carol, we're
going to talk about Carol right now, because while we both mutually agree that Brie Larson is an amazing actress, I mean, she's an Academy Award winner, and Room gave me goosebumps. That film was amazing. In this film, I don't feel that the writers did her character justice. She felt very flat, almost.
The emotional undertones, she was not given that arc to grow that other characters were. And it definitely fell flat, and which is really too bad, because we want to be able to connect to our hero.
I do have a point to add to that. Carol was a kick-butt character.
Oh, absolutely.
There's no denying that. Brie Larson is a beast.
There is a video of her, I don't know if you've seen it, where she is literally pushing the Jeep uphill backwards. She got in such good shape for this film. And that physicality definitely showed throughout.
It definitely informed her choices as an actress as well. But emotionally, it was flat for her, because everything we learned about Carol, we learned from her relationships with the people around her. We didn't learn anything from Carol herself.
No. And that really was not anything that was really Brie Larson's fault. It really was the fault of the writers. Now, one of the things that kind of bothered me about the film was the fact that Carol's character was so flat emotionally and up to par with the other characters. It was out of balance. She did not command the screen like Nick Fury's character, for example. He
only has to step on camera, and he is a scene stealer.
He does. He possesses
gravitas.
That's probably a good word. Mostly he just,
He's Nick Fury.
He's Samuel L. Jackson. There's just that moment with him that is just, you can't deny it. And we were lacking that in Carol's character, unfortunately. Especially because she was so powerful in many other ways. I just felt...
They gave her so much power that they forgot to develop her as a character.
Exactly.
And while that may work in some of the newer iterations of Superman, it should not be something that the writers are able to get away with these days.
No. We need to demand more. Like, the comics that these characters were created from had full developed lives, and sometimes we're not seeing them on the screen, which sucks.
That being said, this is the first full-time, this is the first slightly longer time we've been introduced to this character. I mean, yes, the writers for Iron Man did an amazing job bringing out Tony Stark's character. Half of that I have to assume was Robert Downey Jr. because he is Iron Man.
He totally embodies him.
He is. But I think that we should give her another shot in the next time she comes out on screen.
Absolutely. I really feel like there's a lot that can be done with her character.
Agreed.
This is a little spoilery, because we do see her in Avengers Endgame. And she's... Because that was... She played that character first before she came and did her own film. And they kind of just...
They
dropped the ball.
They didn't match, is a good way to say it, I think.
Yeah.
I really appreciated the music. Okay, I'm going to pair this also with the set design because...
And costuming.
It was the 90s.
They captured the 90s.
The bomber jacket, Blockbuster.
Oh yeah, I worked at Blockbuster in the early 90s, so when she's walking around going and picks up movies, I'm like, oh, I remember that aisle. I was there. And there was even the True Lies stand in my Blockbuster. So...
Spoiler, she shot it.
Yeah.
But her, Carol.
No, but I was like, oh, captured the 90s so well.
And the music just enhanced that feeling. And we also got to see Clark Gregg come in as Coulson for the first time. It was, the de-aging on him, they didn't really need to do much either. His character was a lot of fun. It was a brief glance, but it was a lot of fun.
And again, we're seeing the beginnings of where the
S.H.I.E.L.D.
Avengers... Well, S.H.I.E.L.D. started way back in the day, but it's the Avengers Initiative that we're seeing for the first time. And really understanding about where that journey starts. And we, get a glimpse of all of the things to come, even though we've seen much of it.
Exactly. Now, we have kind of ripped on the characterization of Carol. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the characterization of the Kree. I loved the very first scene we got to see this unit working together. You could tell, it was written so well. You could feel that team had worked together for a long time. Mm-hmm. And Carol kind of felt a little bit like an outsider, which I identified with a little bit.
Yeah. And it definitely threw it. It's like, Kree, I thought they were the bad guys, but in this, it's like,
And then we got to see Ronan, and I'm like, oh... Dance! Just dance! That's Guardians. You gotta love it. So, to summarize this film, we liked it a lot. I felt it was a good step forward myself into the next phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That being said, it fell a little flat.
Yeah. There was so much that we did enjoy. It was that one element, unfortunately, that was a big element.
The further away we get from having seen it in theaters, the more I'm just like, because I'm so, the most memorable parts about it.
The cat. Nick Fury.
His relationship with the cat. And, hey, spoiler alert, we got the backstory to how Nick Fury lost his eye.
That's why he doesn't trust people.
Yeah. Last time he did, he lost an eye.
Anyway, no, we really did enjoy the film, and I know it sounds like we're being totally bashing it. It's really not. We just had such high expectations
because Marvel's done such a good job.
Yeah, they have really become quite the films that they're putting out really have been quite well done overall. And when there's that outlier, we feel it.
It's I think that. Just talking about the Marvel Universe in general, we got the Hulk movie that just fell flat as well. I think that for every new group of phases, we might have a flop. At least I hope that this is the only flop that we'll get. And it wasn't even really a flop.
No, it really was just unfortunate that so many people bashed it before it even came into theaters, which they suck. Overall, I gave it, we thought this was a 4-star film. We enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. We hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you like what you saw, don't forget to click that subscribe button.
And hit the notification.
That way you get notified anytime we post a video. We post every Thursday.
We'll see you next time.